Hi, I'm Maya Dion, and I am your Bounce Back Widow Coach. I'm the CEO and founder of Widows Do Bounce Back, and here we help people grow in the gap that grief left behind. If you're looking for how to grow forward and you're just not sure where to start, I've got amazing tools for you. I'm here as your queen of how of all things widow to help you map your how to doing the things that define growth, happiness, and peace for you going forward. Be sure to check out my channel on Instagram and on Facebook, and check out the links below to find me elsewhere on the web. If you're looking for membership or community or even events and retreats, please check out the links below. It's all there in the description. Make sure you stay to the end of the video. I've got some goodies in that for you, and I'll see you in the comments. Thanks for watching. Hey, it's Maya Dion again, your Bounce Back Widow Coach, and today we are talking about in the Dating in Widowland series, why do you want to date? We want to talk about this to make sure we are dating for the right reasons and not for reasons that you actually are filling spaces that you should be filling with yourself. Let's get into it. So I'm going to give you really quickly a couple of different reasons that I hear and that I had as a widowed person beginning to date. I'm going to, we'll just start there. So here's a reason, and I'll just list them, somewhere on the screen. One is I'm so lonely. I wish I had somebody to share my time with like I did with my husband. That's one reason. Another reason, I cannot stand being this person in the house where the kids feel sorry for me. We know that there's pressure everywhere, there's stress everywhere, there's grief everywhere. I just want to go somewhere and not be this person and not have to tell my story and, have this, I don't want to be this person. That's another reason. Another reason was I have discovered so much about myself and I've taken up space and I'm moving in a direction that I love and I'm ready to share that with somebody else. Widow fire, 2 words, widow fire, girl. Girl. So dry. Okay, maybe not that one. I never got a chance to see who I was as a person dating. I got married very young. And so I was interested in all the things. I wanted all the smoke. I wanted to be flued out to places by guys. I wanted to go on girls' trips. I wanted to do all the things I had not got a chance to do. Of all the reasons that I listed just then, which one of them sounded like you? Did any of them sound like you? The point of that was not to say one reason or another was bad or good. It was to kind of absolve you of any guilt you were feeling about having some of those thoughts. Because longing for companionship, wanting to have a different environment, wanting to feel something, and simply just being, tired of being alone. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing saying, I'm sure that you've heard people say, oh, you need to be by yourself so you can find yourself. I disagree with that wholeheartedly because I never did. I've never been alone, so to speak. I've always had some sort of companionship, whether it be a male friend or somebody I was dating or somebody I was in a relationship with. There's always been somebody to fulfill that piece that I was willing to part with should that person not need to or not be in my life anymore. What do I mean by that? So in the previous video I talked about, and maybe if you didn't see it, I'm going to reiterate here, is when we're looking for parts of ourselves, when we're looking for ways to cope with life, ways to not be lonely, ways to be alone but not lonely, we're thinking about whether or not these holes or these spaces we have in ourselves are something that we can contribute to and grow on our own, or are they something that we can have someone temporarily fill? And honestly, temporarily, and it's not lost on me, the irony that I'm talking about filling holes. I hear it. But stay with me. The irony about life in general is that everyone here is temporary. We don't think of them that way. We think of forever as forever, but really it's kind of forever-ish because, forever we don't have to give to anybody. We don't have to for ourselves. We can, if we believe in God and we believe in heaven, we can talk about what love in that capacity is like when we're in heaven and all the things. But here, while we're on this earth, there is nothing that is permanent other than God's love. And that's really it. and who you are until you're not, until you're not. until you're no longer here, until you're someone else. Nothing here is permanent. That's not what it's for. It's for experience. It's for living, kicking the tires and riding until the wheels fall off. That's what it's for. So when we borrow people for as long as they have to give us, we keep that in mind. We think about what are we willing about people? What are we willing to borrow, knowing that it's not permanent? And what are we willing to work on for ourselves because we're not willing to borrow that? For example, I stayed kind of relationship-ish because having a person, somebody to go out with, somebody to hang out with, somebody to call, and talk till midnight, somebody to just be able to text all day, not continuously, but like somebody you can send little goofy memes to, like somebody like a best friend that isn't completely platonic. That's something I was willing to have to be interchangeable. That's something I was willing for it to be temporary, and until, as long as that person can give me, until the next person comes along, until I decide I don't need anybody, until whatever. So if that got yanked out from under me, it would not feel like the crushing betrayal of having my husband get ripped out from under me, because of the things that I counted on him for. I counted on him for more than just that. I counted on him to be my covering, my spiritual leader, my soulmate, my confidant, like all the deeper things. That's what I counted on him for. And those things were not interchangeable. Those things were things that possibly I needed to dig deep and figure out, how can I fill these spaces myself? How can I find spiritual food somewhere that is not necessarily, if I don't have a husband, is a husband? Can I belong to a church? Can I belong to a group of people that can help me in my spiritual journey? That's something that I had never developed before having a husband. So that's something I decided I can't have that ripped out from under me. That's something that I need to be able to pick and choose myself, find myself, grow in myself. Another thing was hobbies and everyday habits. Like I know that in my marriage, I didn't really have a whole lot of hobbies. My hobbies were hanging out with him, and I was fine with that. And I hope you don't hear anything in my voice convicting you of that, because that I was fine with it. There's nothing wrong with that. The only drawback is when they're not there. Now, how are you filling your time? How are you being fulfilled? How are you chasing a passion? What is that passion? What is the color in your life that isn't just, and I don't mean in a flippant way when I say just, but isn't family, isn't your kids? What do you have that, is just yours? And I had nothing. So that is something that I decided, you know what? If I'm going to go out here and find somebody to date, if I'm going to find somebody to marry again, I can't be looking for that in them. I'm going to have to figure that out myself. I'm going to have to grow that myself. I'm going to have to adventure that myself. But the things that I could take, that I could interchange, yeah, somebody to text sometimes, somebody, oh, I want to go to a ball game. Oh, there's a wedding, I need a date. Oh, there's a trip I want to go on, and this person is, we can have some fun, like, not to be like, it is what it is. Your beliefs are your beliefs, and nobody is condemning anybody for anything here. What I'm saying is, what can you part with? What do you have boundaries up for that you're not going to be broken if it's no longer there? Could be sex, could be, and as a Christian, that's something that you have to reconcile with in your own heart, with your own, on your own time, you and God. You have to talk about what your boundaries are. That's not mine to say. That's not mine to judge. But what I'm saying is that something that you can have taken away from you and part with? Is that something that will break you if it doesn't turn into marriage? These are the types of questions you need to ask yourself. Why do I want to date? What spaces do I want to fill that could be okay to be temporary, could be okay to be something that doesn't last, but is something that I'm interested in pursuing because I have enough of me that I'm fulfilled, I'm okay. I have enough of me that I can share. I'm overflowing with me. And yep, I hear it. I hear it. Keep going. But you know what I mean? Like, if you've got enough of you that you're okay by yourself, you're okay to share it, and you're looking for an addition to, because something that I know is obvious, but isn't necessarily not tempting, isn't not, what's obvious, but still tempting is the idea that having a friend, companion, boyfriend, new husband is going to fix you. You are not broken. You feel broken. We talked about facts versus feelings. You feel broken, but you are not broken. You are working in proper order. Therefore, you don't need to be fixed. You need to grow into this space. And if you are looking for a relationship to fix things, I don't know what to tell you. I don't want to say it's not going to happen because for some people, they are in a space where they feel that that has happened for them. I have not had a client yet that didn't go through that, break up from that, and feel devastated. I don't want to scare you, but looking for relationship as a fix, whether you're widowed or not, is never really the right way to go. Because again, if it's the fix and it's temporary, what happens when it's gone? Jamming things into your heart because you've got a hole doesn't mean that, it's like a puzzle piece. You can jam it in all you want to, and it may look like it fits for now, but what's going to happen when it's time for it to come out? It's going to break things on the way out. It's going to rip things on the way out. It's going to hurt on the way out. And that's not what we're aiming for. That's not what we're trying to do. We are trying to fit things that fit. We are trying to fill spaces on our own with the Holy Spirit, with who we are, with new adventures, with growth. And if we've got some surplus with someone that comes in that makes it just that much sweeter, that's what we're looking for. Because remember, in your marriage, yes, he was everything to you, but when you met him and before you were married, hopefully you found solace in the fact that he added to you, not overshadowed you. So these are some things to think about when you are dating, and think about why you want to date. What parts of you are you trying to fill? What parts of you, I heard it, what parts of you can you fill on your own? And does it make sense to be dating or to be growing or doing both? You can absolutely do both. This is not at all a one or the other type of deal. I did both at the same time. That's something that I had to do because that's who I am. I definitely found myself and dated at the same time because I made sure I had boundaries up when I was dating about what I was getting from this dating versus what I was growing on my own. I hope that was helpful for you. That's what we come to the conclusion with. This was never going to be a judgment session. This was always going to be something that is a decision you make on your own. So ask yourself, why am I dating? Drop it in the comments below and let me know. The next segment in Dating in Widow Land is called Sex. Talking about boundaries. Whether or not the boundaries you set are going to actually be stuck to. Are you actually going to stick to these boundaries? Or are you kind of crumbling every time they come to you, flailing around with what actually your boundaries are and feeling like you're not being who God has called you to be in this realm? There's a kicker. Okay, I'll see you in the next one. Thanks, guys. Bye. Thanks for watching Dating in Widowland. I hope you loved what you saw here. I hope the information was so helpful for you. This is a series. If you're looking for more in-depth, really juicy, awesome information from someone who actually dated and remarried in Widowland, please check out the rest of the series below. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please drop them below. I always answer my comments. Thanks for watching. Bye.